Good evening, 18. Good evening. Good evening. October 25th, 2 days after our organization meeting that was held on the 23rd. A very eventful week. We, of course, you all know by now, we had a reporter come down from the New York Times to visit with you guys and to learn about the things that we're dealing with here in Charleston. It is, we got several news outlets here. We got one of the oldest papers in America, if not the oldest paper in America, right here in our backyards, Post-Courier. Hadn't seen him at any meetings. Hadn't seen any news outlets at any of the meetings, things of that nature. Yeah. But here it is, we got a reporter that cares enough it's one thing to do an interview over the phone. The first interview was a conference call. To sit there and do the interview, but to feel passionate enough to get on the plane, and get the approval and the graces of her editor to come to Charleston and report on us, and in doing so, she asked for contacts as far as ILA members, and she's already done her research on the port, but and she contacted those guys, and on her behalf, I reached out to try to get her a press pass. I kind of knew that wasn't going to happen because nobody really wants to put the facts out there and the truth on what it is that truckers are dealing with. But it worked out because they they decided to roll out the red carpet for I won't say pissed off, but it goes to show you once again the lack of respect. And I always talk about respect because a lot of the issues that we have, they all go away if we're just common decency, respect for us as truckers and what it is that we do. So here it is. We've had 2 meetings with the port. 2 meetings. First meeting, we talked to two gentlemen at those meetings. One is the head of logistics, and one is the head of the rapid rail sector of what it is that we do on that side. So we had those gentlemen, and before we left that meeting, they said they wanted to have a follow-up meeting, which we did. It was supposed to have been in 2 weeks. It ended up being about 3. We had that meeting. So here it is. You got your CEO, Jim Newsom, who, if you guys been reading the reports, if you saw the state of the port press thing that they had last week, made a statement, made several statements, in the media and in the paper about how truckers are being treated and the fact that we want to be respected and they've done a terrible job. Said all these things, and they're going to do better. So then you got Miss Barbara Melvin, the replacement, the next few months for Jim Newsom. She's second in charge right now, the COO. So we've had this meeting planned months, weeks. Didn't see any of them, right? The minute this reporter came from the New York Times, because here it is, folks. And this is the thing, right? For some folks, things are not moving fast enough, and for others, they get it. They understand when it comes to organizing and doing what it is that we're doing. It takes time. We're trying to undo something that's been perpetrated on truckers for decades, right? So I think this post was open since 1949, if I'm not mistaken. So this has been going on for decades. Didn't just start yesterday when I came into trucking 4 years ago, 10 years, decades, right? It's been going on. So things like that are not undone in a matter of 4 to 5 months. You know, you make steps and you make strides to make them better, to get to your ultimate goal is to, you know, to achieve and gain what it is that you deserve. So you're making strides in that direction, right? Some folks understand, some don't get it. But to say that we're here, we represent truckers. We don't represent carriers. They got organizations for carriers, and those carriers have been going to meetings with these people for years. They don't represent you. They don't represent the person in that seat. We do, right? And we let the port know this. We even let some of the carriers know what it is I'm saying to you right now. Y'all don't represent us when y'all go into those meetings, but we do. So if you're saying you want to make it better for truckers and you haven't, attended those meetings, you send your people, and like I say, I respect those guys because they actually genuine people. They actually care. You see what I'm saying? They listen. They do things to try to improve. They put things out there to help us make our day better for the most part. But when it comes to the heads, you haven't attended any of those meetings. But the minute this reporter comes in town, you deny a press pass for her and her photographer to ride around with us. We understand you can't take pictures in the port. We get that. But for her to get a firsthand look at what it is that we're dealing with when we tell people we're being detained, but then you're putting out there that it's only an 8-minute uptick in the turn time, and we're still getting interchanges that show, you may have been in the port 20, 30 minutes, but just like this morning, and this is how things work. That reporter, she followed me from the yard that I park at to the port, and she sat outside that port until I came out that gate. And when I came out the gate, my interchange said 20 minutes, but we recorded an hour and 17 minutes of me being inside that port. So that's what the disconnect is when it comes to going into that security gate and getting on the scale and getting that first ticket. It took me 1 hour and I think it was like an hour and 3 minutes or something like that, just to get on the scale from the security gate. That's how long it took. So the importance of that, someone asked me, well, why is that so important? Because those people that's in charge, when it's federal mandates that are imposed, when it's guidelines that should be followed, there's rules in place when it comes to detaining truckers. Trust me, if it was for nothing, the time wouldn't even be on the ticket. It wouldn't even be on the ticket if it was all for nothing. But it's things that they're receiving, things that are being reported. Like when you look at this whole catastrophe, when it comes to congestion in these ports, it's just not being reported properly. They're reporting they only got an 8-minute uptick. The average turn time is 20 to 30 minutes for a single move. It's a bunch of BS. It's the reason why they refuse to pay you more is because they feel, all right, well, we're taking a hit, but you're only taking a little 8-minute hit when it's not a little 8-minute hit. If it's taking me an hour each time that I enter in the port, like I keep telling these folks, that's cutting 4 to 5 hours out of my day. At that point, I'm losing money. We're losing money. and we can't continue to just keep losing and have y'all reporting things inaccurately. So, she was still able to, to see that aspect of it. So she got it. But what I see the disrespect coming at is the fact that you're out here saying you want to change things for truckers. But the minute you had the opportunity to put your spin on that story, on how it was being reported, you decided to take your top two people and drive this lady around the port. See what I'm saying? Your top two people met with this person from New York, a reporter. Great lady. Great reporter. After leaving here, I would hopefully see her again. Whether it's us going to New York to our meetings or her, coming back to Charleston. Hopefully we see her again. Great person. But don't put that out there that you're willing and to make a change when it comes to truckers, and you're not even putting forth the effort to meet with us. All right? But Saturday, meeting was great. The flow was exceptional. When it came to the dialogue between committee members and members of our Coalition 18 organization. Great flow. A lot of the questions that were brought up, questions that were already asked by us to the officials from the port, and we were able to answer them. And it was a great point made by a couple of members when it comes to the meetings and as far as us holding them here in Charleston. And a lot of our drivers is not in Charleston, and a lot of drivers working 6 days a week, so they don't want to come back to have a meeting or whatever the case may be. It's a lot of different reasons. Me personally, I'd meet 7 days a week if it'll change the current conditions in which we work right now. But that's me. So what we're going to do is we're going to implement some type of video conference, Zoom perhaps. I think we have the capacity now as an organization to hold up to 100 people on a Zoom conference. So we'll be having a committee member sometime this week to discuss those things and get an exact format on how we're gonna roll that out. But just, for the most part, great week. And what we've been able to do is we've, as an organization, Miss Barbara Melvin from the port, the CEO, she has a candy giveaway at one of the local elementary schools in downtown Charleston, Sanders Clyde, every year, we were told. So as an organization, we donated candy. And we had two members, Mrs. Robinson and Miss Richards, walk that candy in there to the port office and met with Miss Melvin personally. And they were also able to get her contact information, email, phone number, things of that nature, her assistant's number. So we now have direct contact with Mrs. Melvin, which is great, But, at the same time I'm huge on giving back. We were able to give back, and myself and one of the other committee members, Ms. Richards, we'll be down at that school tomorrow with the port, handing out that candy, to the kids. So it's a great thing. It gives us a time to kind of build camaraderie between ourselves and port officials, which is always great. We should be seeing that report, the news article, roll out a couple of weeks. We'll keep y'all informed, and we'll definitely, when we see it, we'll definitely post it. But all in all, Charleston, great showing. And I must say that reporter came here after a conference call that we had on a national level. Because if you didn't know, you should know by now, Coalition 18, locally, here in Charleston, SC Ports, that's what we do. But on a national level, we're a part of that movement as well. And it's Truckers Movement for Justice. And what it is, it's an organization of about, right now, I believe 12 to 14 different cities that have ports that consist of port truckers. And we actually just got off a conference call with those guys. And, a lot of things been discussed as far as issues going on in New Orleans. The love-hate thing that they have going on out there with the ILA that they're working on, bridging that gap and have some type of unity. We actually got Long Beach now. Got a fella out there, Mr. Molina, great guy, organization, them boys, they kind of rowdy, man. They definitely a rowdy group of guys out there, man. We learned some more things about D.O.T. truck parking survey, which is something that we'll reach out to the Department of Transportation tomorrow to talk to them about that survey that we should have been a part of. So that's definitely something that's needed here when it comes to truck parking. And most cases, going to free up a lot of opportunities and space for people to park trucks who are going out there and getting their own authority. What else was it? Also on the national level, when it comes to Truckers Movement for Justice and Coalition 18, that we're a part of that, and every city that's in Truckers Movement for Justice have their own local organization. So Coalition 18 is a part of that larger organization that we share ideas, and we found that a lot of things that we're dealing with here locally, people dealing with all over the nation. So you learn that these things are manufactured. They're put in place, and there's reasons behind that they're doing the things that they're doing right now. When it comes to the congestion issue, the steamship lines are up. I think it's up to like $30,000 on these boxes that a year ago they used to pay $3,000 to ship over here. Now these places get upwards to $30,000. So when you read these reports and they're talking about trying to find ways to fix it and to get things, through these shipping doors and get them back out on the shelf, there ain't no rush to fix it. These people are making bukus of dollars right now, killing it. So why would anybody want to fix it? Only people suffering is us, truckers. Everybody else killing it. Every report you see, record-breaking numbers. So don't look for that to go anywhere anytime soon. And that's what I tell y'all. You gotta take this stuff serious. We'll be sitting here a year from now still talking about the same thing. Being detained, having 66% of your income cut, making 2/3 less than what you've been making, a year and a half ago. But, y'all can sit around and do nothing, decide to join us and let's do something about it. Just keep complaining. But on the national level, we were awarded a grant because it's always people outside of what we're doing that understands the gist of it. It's hard to get truckers to understand in order to help themselves, they got to change their mentality and just by just treating it like a business alone, man, it helps it out a great deal. When it comes to grievance procedures, if you go in that port, and I think it happened the other day, whether it's ILA, state port worker, somebody does something crazy, somebody's having a bad day, says something to you, you're having a bad day, and you react, it's 9 times out of 10, you're going to be the one banned from the port, right? And we all understand that. It's not right, but that's the way it is. So you got to protect yourself. If you engage in somebody and it is being a complete asshole, go to your phone, hit record, right? Hit record. Record that interchange. You don't got to let them know that you're recording. Just record it. Because if they report you, you're going to be banned. You know what I'm saying? If you report them, nothing happens. So it's a huge need to put some type of grievance procedures in place to protect us. You know, if you go in there and you get hit by one of these machines, they got laws to cover them. You know, God forbids if you get killed. I think they got what they call a tort law in the state of South Carolina that protects state workers and state facilities, anything state-owned. You know, your family is limited to the proceeds in which you receive. If they drop one of these containers on you and you die, Junior might not be able to make it through college based upon, you know, what you can recoup as far as your losses. So it got to be some type of grievances putting grievance procedures put in place when it come to truckers, when it come to doing what we're doing. I mean, I don't care about everybody else. I don't care about the ILA side or the state port worker side or how they do it and the paths that they got to protect us. I don't care about that. I care about truckers. I'm dealing with truckers issues and truckers issues only. So we got to figure out a way to protect ourselves. And as I can tell you right now, until we get those procedures put in place, until we get something made for us because it's needed. Too many times things have happened in that port, and whatever officer decides to show up, and whether he's seen the accident or going to use common sense to say, well, no way this could have been your fault, he's going to write it up to be your fault because they're there to protect themselves. I've seen it happen. It happened to me personally. So you got to protect yourself. So in my situation, the only thing that I had going for me is I took about 80 photos. You see what I'm saying? And those photos, it tells a story, you know, in itself. So, you know, what they say really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, pictures don't lie. So you got to do what you got to do in order to protect yourself. So if you engage in any of those type of situations for right now, and I would say always, even if we do get some type of grievance procedures put in place, you still need to have proof. So when you engage in somebody being stupid, just push record. You know, it's human nature. If you come off to me, I'm a man. If you come off to me in a negative way, you might get that reaction, and then you might not like it. In most cases, you probably gonna catch the bad end of it. But you got to protect yourself. You see what I'm saying? Because ultimately, you're there to provide a means for you and your family. So, you know, don't let nobody just take that away from you based upon foolishness. When it comes to plans, goals, and strategies, we're working on those things every day. Ways to make it better. Ways to attack this thing effectively. You know, I know a lot of you sit there and y'all always shouting, you know, strike, 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 shut down, shut down, shut down, shut down. You got to be effective in anything that you do when it comes to that type of behavior. Like we were just on a call, like I said, on national level with one of the guys from Long Beach. And if you know the history of the West Coast, they will shut it down quick. You know, at the drop of a hat. You know, California, them boys do not play. They will shut it down. But when you go back and you look at what did they gain, the things that they've gotten, not a whole lot to be seen from that. The lawsuit in the West Coast, $30 million. They didn't get that $30 million lawsuit through by shutting down. You know what I'm saying? They got fired. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be effective and strategic in what it is that you do. And on the behalf of you guys, trust and believe, that's what we're doing. If it wasn't for strategies and proper planning, you wouldn't have seen a reporter, from New York Times here in Charleston. It just wouldn't have happened. That's just one of the things, one of the many. And the future and the strategies and things that we put in place every day, you'll see more results. But just like the guys who attended the meeting, this week, well, you guys need to say more. Say more. You don't show up at a fight and tell a guy you gonna hit him with a right hook, left hook, and then you gonna go for a knockout punch. Then he gonna sit there and counter everything that you throw at him. Then your ass will be laying on the ground. All right, that's not what we're here for. We're here to like I say, be effective in whatever it is that we do, because after driving all day, I have no patience or no time to be wasted. So everything that we do, we strategize, and it's in efforts to get the best result. All right. So that's that. We're gonna keep the meetings like we've been having them every third. I think it's We'll announce the meeting soon. I think because we got holidays coming up, so that kind of get a little gray. But we'll figure out something and announce the next meeting. You guys who plan on attending Spades Tournament this Saturday the 30th, please let us know. Inbox us, sign up, give me a call, whatever it is that you need to do, and let me know you plan on attending that. Other than that, peace and solidarity. You guys have a good night. Ride safe.